Hey everybody, Traci Cornelius here. Today I'm coming to you with no makeup on and I think I've still got food that the girls have lovingly spread over me from lunch. I've recently just got back from taking Nevaeh and Grace to nursery and preschool, and you know what, I kind of thought there are just days that I like this. There are days where I just don't have time to put makeup on or to always look my best or all of that type of thing. And I've always said that every time I do anything on the YouTube or if I'm sharing anything, I'll be as real as possible, and this is as real as it gets. So Alina is now pottering around, and I thought I would do our 37-week pregnancy update. So technically I am now full term, which is awesome, and I would probably be jumping up and down with joy, but I just do not have the energy whatsoever. This is like beyond tiredness. It's not just being tired. I literally do not have any energy whatsoever. Look at Alina. Are you dancing? You want to say hi? Is that you on the video? Say hi. Say hi. Mesmerised by my own reflection. So pretty exhausted at the moment. I've been very fortunate that my eldest, Kiesha, has looked after the girls a few times so I can get some extra sleep. But, you know, I don't think this really makes any difference whether you have 4 children, whether you have 1 child, whether this is your first pregnancy or beyond. There are always going to be times where the exhaustion just takes over. I mean, Alina was up, I don't know, 6-7 times, I think, last night. But you have to carry on. But when you carry on, you're carrying on at a lower capacity than normal. But that's part and parcel of parenthood, I guess, really. So for 37 weeks, what can I tell you that is different? There really actually isn't a huge amount that's different. She's got a lot bigger. The movements are not exactly more painful. But every movement means that my body sticks out in some way. Alina's dancing to the music. So that Mark finds really freaky. He absolutely cannot stand the movements. As much as I encourage the whole kind of bonding thing. Hey baby, you dancing? Yeah, he really doesn't like it. I do. I think it's really nice. You know, I kind of feel her arms and her legs and that type of thing, which is all good. She's getting a lot more. She gets hiccups a lot more at the moment. So that's something that I can feel. I quite like her having hiccups because it just also gives me a point of reference as to how she's lying, which is kind of important from now onwards. Like I said, 37 weeks, you're full term, so technically you can go into labour at any time from now, and there shouldn't need to be any intervention for your baby, which is fantastic news. So a huge weight off of your mind when you get to this stage. I did have a message earlier on Instagram from Annie's blog saying, do I normally have them around about this time? Because she's never gone past 37 weeks pregnant. She is so lucky. So no, mine first baby was born at 38 weeks. That was Kiesha. Yes, baby. You can come up here. And then Nevaeh was born. You want to say hi? No? Hi. Good girl, say hi. Then Nevaeh was born at 40 weeks plus 6 days. Grace, was then born at 41 plus 2. And I still think with Grace it was very different. I've been in and out of labour for about 2 weeks actually, and I still think to this day that if they had have done a scan or a different check, I know hindsight is a wonderful thing, but they would have known at that point that there was something quite wrong, which is one of the reasons why she couldn't be born naturally. And then Alina, who was the last baby that you've just seen, was born at 40 plus 2. So I always I just must have a very comfortable environment. Not that that's always what I want to completely create. If this one was to come a little bit earlier, I'd be very grateful. However, there is a massive difference in this pregnancy to the other ones. Every single pregnancy that I'd had prior to this, I have genuinely, by this stage, had enough and really wanted it out. Because I can't sit comfortably, I can't do any of that. Also, all my previous pregnancies have been back to back. As in, all the births have also been back to back. This baby, I can tell, is not back to back because of the movements, and she's also not up underneath my ribs. Normally, I would have knees pushing my rib cage out, that type of thing, and I don't have that, so I don't kind of feel like I'm in such of a disadvantaged state of mind to really want the baby to come out. I mean, obviously it would be nice. I'm really excited about meeting her and all the rest of it, but I'm not as uncomfortable. I'm just so tired and exhausted. So that's one symptom. I'm really looking forward for that to be relieved. Hi. We've got a very chirpy, very happy Alina today. Go, go. And we've got stuff all over the floor, which she has just grabbed out and put everywhere. So you may be feeling pretty similar to how I was on my previous pregnancies, where you're completely uncomfortable, you can't sit properly, you can't sleep properly, and all of those type of things. And if you are, I empathise completely, because it does make you really miserable. And I know we have this whole thing about being blessed about being pregnant, and we are completely, but there are still the symptoms and everything that are just hard work. They make you feel, well, one, exhausted, and just very, very uncomfortable, very agitated, all of those type of things. And I think it is important to address that. I don't think that they can be brushed aside easily, as if you're meant to breeze through the whole of pregnancy thinking it's the most wonderful thing, like Mary Poppins style. So that could very much happen. Right, so other things that can also possibly happen from week 37. And it's a symptom that I also have myself now. Your baby, even if it's your first pregnancy, it's more than likely that your baby's head is pretty much engaged now anyway. And it might feel like the baby's going to fall out. It won't. It's all fine. It's all secure in there. But that puts a lot of pressure on the pelvis. For those of you that are having your second or more pregnancy, it could be that you have a sensation that the baby is like pushing down on your pelvis, and that will happen on quite a regular basis. And sometimes, if you're like me, it might even feel like the head is kind of screwing, as if it's trying to get into the right position. That can be quite painful, and it can also hit a number of different nerves at the same time, which makes it quite interesting. So that's a very real symptom from now onwards. Other things to really advise for this stage are just to make sure that your hospital bag is packed, that your birthing notes are completed to how you want them to be. I still need to write mine. I'm sure I've got lackadaisical with this kind of pregnancy, so I will do that later on. just in case. And yeah, just making sure that other things are kind of in progress, really, and as much as possible to be ready for the arrival. Like, I've cooked meals in advance, they're in the freezer, to make sure that it kind of eases that transition for when she arrives. All of the clothes are washed, the bed is all ready, the swaddling blankets and all of that type of thing have all been sorted out. Yeah, so I think we are pretty much ready. The only thing that we haven't done is we haven't actually worked out the precise seating arrangement for our car. Oopsie daisy. We have a Kia, because obviously we've got a number of children, which is a 7-seater. And the first, like, behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat, we've obviously got the 3 seats. And at the moment, we've got Nevaeh, Grace and Alina sat there. But obviously, we don't want to be putting the baby completely in the back. So we're going to move Nevaeh to the back and work out the logistics of whether we take out the middle seat and have Nevaeh and Grace in the back, and then Alina and the baby in the middle. And the reason for that kind of like thought process is because to use the 2 seats at the back, you actually have to climb in from the boot. I don't really kind of like that as much, as I'm kind of thinking that if I can get them to go through the normal doors and then through the centre section, it would probably be safer. But we need to work out those arrangements. So that's something that Mark and I need to do, really. We need to play around with the configuration of the car. Hi! So, yes, that we'll probably be doing this weekend. So, yeah, that is my week 37 update.